Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And here I am downtown on the corner of Center Street and 5th Avenue Southwest. Well, I guess I have to be interested in how I'm going to approach this vlog, but I was recently at one of my schools I went to in the past in James Short Memorial. But in this area right here, this is James Short Park. However, it sounds like the name is going to get changed here fairly soon, and there might be a potential that the school, James Short Memorial School, is going to eventually get renamed as well, because actually I've been doing some research. I mean, this is the site of the original school, because the school that I went to in my previous video, that was named after the same James Short, and it was replacing the school that used to be right here. This school used to be right here. It should also be called the Central Memorial School, I believe, if I understand it right. Then it was named after James Short. And the school sat right here, right in this spot right here where it's downtown, where obviously you got the Suncor building, the Bow building. And as you walk out, you always gotta point out the Calgary Tower, the most iconic building in the Calgary skyline, with the trees all in full bloom. But this school was right here, and I know James Short used to be a lawyer, philanthropist. He also, I think he was an alderman as well, and he worked with the Calgary School Board. However, the reason why that this park right here, and there's a parkade also underneath, that I would say I have a colleague at work that spent a lot of time on it. I'll leave the name out. That spent a lot of time on it, designing the power layout. But the reason why the name is going to there's a motion to change the name is that it's been discovered in the past. We're going back over 100 years, that James Short actually had an anti-Chinese racism, which I'll put the links in the description to the story. I'll just leave it at that. But there was some historian looking back on it, that there's been a motion to change the name of this park. So as I walked around, and actually on this clock tower right here, the cupola, which was part of the original school, that's right here, that you can see the clock tower. I shared some pictures, and you actually don't see it as well in the late spring and summer. But it's kind of interesting that my school journey used to be right here, but I know right here there used to be plaques talking about the school, and talking about, I think, the James Short that I went to, but it's all gone. And you walk around, I mean, it's kind of the cancel culture that it just says Parkade. This is Calgary Parkade Authority 40, but it's still a nice park either way. I mean, it has some neat history. You can see the nice shot of the cupola right there, and heard some volunteers brought this back to life, because the original school that was here, I think, was demolished in the late 1960s. I found some research on it. Got replaced at the time for a Greyhound bus terminal, and it was actually a little difficult walking around. As you can see all these barricades here, as I mean, this parkade has been under renovation, and this whole park is being redeveloped. But there's a motion to change the name, but still just interesting. I do remember, because this park was dedicated at the time to James Short back in 1991, which was my last year when I went there before moving over to Dr. Oakley. That I remember, I mean, I was a little still in my early childhood, that I remember us walking around downtown, and Dad pointed out, I was like, hey, James Short, and I was thinking, that can't be the same name, but yeah, it is. But it's just, I've said in my first video talking about the school itself, that I had some neat memories, but social memories. But it's kind of fitting that there's some history with the social history with James Short himself. Just very symbolic. But here's another shot. I mean, you can see the cupola. I always have to point out the Calgary Tower. No matter what tall buildings are built around here, it's always going to be the most iconic building. And looking at the school that sat here, going back to the early 1900s, how many changes has it seen? And then ultimately got torn down because of the Greyhound bus terminal. But it is the same James Short that I went to school in my early childhood elementary days, that is named after. And it's just ironic with the history that there's some anti-Chinese racism from James Short's history that they're prompting the name to change his park, which now you just see Parkade. Well, just north here, if you're familiar with Calgary, it is Chinatown, and then I'd still say it's a neat part of the city. You know, just get to take in the culture and the food and that. But I'll just leave it at that. It's just very, very interesting that you know, I was doing some research and doing this vlog. It just didn't turn out exactly as planned. Not because of the weather, because there was a thunderstorm and I had to wait for it to clear out, but I was hoping to at least get pictures of those plaques talking about the school. And I'll put the links in the story about the story of why the story about changing the name, and then some history that I found about this school, that what school used to be here, and this cupola. But that's just a quick story about the James Short history, that there is some connection that my first major elementary school was named after, so in some way I'm sort of connected to the history here, which that just seems to always play out in my journey with when looking back at some schools in the past. So anyways, like I say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, Home of the Flames, Hitman, Roughnecks, and Stampeders. I mostly do talk Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, but I also do personal vlogs, attempt to comedy, and I do share my experience today. I'm on the road or at a sporting event, and I've been doing this vlogging on the go, which it's been fun for me to do that. It is what it is. It's been blogging on the go and ad-libbing, and this one, I have to admit, doesn't turn out to be exactly as I planned. Just I was hoping to maybe show some plaques that I know that was on this cupola clock tower right here, that it's taken down, and there's no differences to the name James Short Parkade. It just says Parkade because there's a motion to change name. But if you still Google, you know, James Short Park, it takes you right here, and this is a popular spot for you know, workers downtown around here to take a break from their work days and have lunch and all that. But yeah, I wasn't able to walk around much around here just to show more of the nature of this park. I know that I was back here in February during Chinook Blast where the orb was here, so you could see that video, and they had the red on the cupola. But yeah, that's what I can say. So if I say that, sounds like I'll be interested to watch to follow along this Calgary sports fan's journey. Just make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I also have my other social media links down in the description below. So as I say, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.